I'm Clayton Frisbee. I'm a 12th grader at Sourton Area High School, and as far as my future goals go, I'm going to Temple next year for film. So, I kind of forgot to bring a speech today, so I'm just going to try to wing it. April Fools. Let me start by saying that America and the West obviously have a defined culture. I know it, you all know it, but how well do the Chinese students know it? Well, over the last couple months, they've proven that they've been exposed to their share of Western media, giving them a big idea on what our culture is all about. But this is just the top of an iceberg, and that there's so much more to any culture than just what the media portrays. For example, not even half of the Chinese students knew what April Fool's Day was. Do you know how awkward the beginning of my speech would have been if you didn't know I was kidding? Really awkward. But this goes both ways. We've been exposed to Chinese culture through media our whole lives. So, are we just seeing the top of an iceberg like they are? Well, let's go over what we've gathered from the media. Shows like South Park and Family Guy teach us all Chinese people look alike and that they're all bad drivers. One of my favorite movies, Rush Hour, taught us that all Chinese people are smart and courageous. Even the music we listen to all the time can teach us. Wiz Khalifa, a prominent rapper, taught us that Chinese people can't see well because they have tiny eyes. Well, we've been learning wrong because this is all untrue. These are all stereotypes. And even though they're not all negative ones, they're all harmful to not only our understanding of Chinese culture and its people, but it's harmful to the individuals that have to go through these labels and stereotypes. In the beginning of this program, before I kind of reevaluated everything, I wouldn't say I was blind, but I was definitely ignorant to what was really happening around. Before I started Burlesque Buck, I would see stereotypes everywhere, and I wouldn't think anything of them. Someone would say a racist joke, and I would laugh. My mindset was, how could something as simple as a joke be detrimental? For some reason, I even thought the butt of the joke felt this way. So, over the course of this program, we've been talking about what stereotypes really are and how it actually affects people. And I learned the true force of these words. I learned that when people are surrounded their whole lives by stereotypes, it can start to get to them. Even positive stereotypes, as I said earlier, can affect a person, setting standards that not everybody can live up to. And it causes anxiety and depression in so many people because they can't. Negative stereotypes hack away at people's self-worth. Imagine growing up your whole life with someone telling you you're unathletic. You wouldn't be able to play a sport your whole life without feeling like you're being judged by someone. As a personal example, as time has passed through this program, I've been more and more able to see just how casual stereotypes are, and more specifically, how people are reacting to them. In one of my classes, I sit next to a Chinese American, and every day, one of his friends would come up and blatantly joke about Chinese stereotypes in front of him. I could see the discomfort in my friend's face every time he had to deal with that. After a couple of times, I told the joker that he's not being funny and that he's actually just being ignorant. The point of the whole situation wasn't that I stopped it in this one case. What you should take away is that I finally understood stereotypes. I realized it and I saw how it made my friend feel. And now I can recognize and understand just what stereotypes in the media are doing. And there's a lot of different ways to combat this kind of media. I personally think it begins on an individual level, starting with simply tuning out of this negative media. If publishers and broadcasting stations all of a sudden see their ratings drop when they stereotype, they're eventually going to stop. But this isn't the individual's only duty. The most important thing they can do is spread what they know and learn. This takes the power of one person and makes it become this much more powerful force, because anything can be accomplished when a large group of people are determined for some change. So the individual's responsibilities become the group's, and over time, hopefully, it will become the world's responsibilities to fight stereotypes. I know this is a big dream for someone like me still on the individual level, but I have faith in people. And just over these last couple months, telling my friends about what I've been learning, they've been starting to see the big picture, like me. They've been changing what they expose themselves to. They've been changing their everyday conversation. Next year, I plan to go to film school at Temple University. In the future, I want to make and direct movies. As of now, I'm planning on making movies that will force people to think. And I've been thinking about how I can incorporate everything I've learned into my future profession. And one might think the best way to do that is simply make a movie without stereotypes in it. And sure, this is a nice idea. It doesn't encourage stereotypes, but it also doesn't discourage them. I want to make a movie that people will see and go, wow, I didn't know stereotypes were so serious, or geez, maybe what I said to my friend was hurtful. This way, I'm creating individuals who want to fight stereotypes with each person who goes and sees this movie. This is why going to China would be so essential for me, because what I could be taking away from it, I wouldn't just be telling my friends about. I'd be incorporating it into the rest of my life and my career. I want to see the whole iceberg, not just what I see from the top over here, but really everything that incorporates the Chinese culture. I want the same experience Pearl S. Buck had when she had the courage to oppose the stereotypes we had of China and publish a book on its true nature. In conclusion, we've been exposed to stereotypes our whole lives, in only one light, without the notion that they're individuals just like you and me, and these stereotypes have been misconstruing our view. Thanks to the program, I learned just how prevalent and devastating stereotypes are, and that you can fight them as an individual, because you can make your cause spread, and then the power will follow. I want to reciprocate everything I've learned here into the art of film as I grow and my career unfolds. Going to China would be so great for me because I would be put right in the middle of what I'm looking for, the true beauty of Chinese culture.